Our next topic is about synchronized block. Having learnt about the synchronized method, we will now see what is your synchronized block. So some set of the lines of the code, which is usually called as block of a code, can also be made synchronized now. We will see one program where your synchronized block is meaningful. Right. For example, now I have taken some program, class thread B12 extends thread. So this is thread. So now you will be having all the properties of your thread inherited to your thread B12 also. Now, if at all I need to perform any action in your thread B12, where I need to write the action, obviously in your run method. So now I'm taking one instance variable called total. Now the run method of your this thread B12 thread, what it does is it will be calculating the value of your total. So initially total is total plus is equal to I. What is the value of your I initially? 0. So what will be your total? Total will be 0. Initial value of your total is 0. So 0 plus 0, 0. Now next for the next time I plus plus, so 1. So 0 plus 1 total will become equal to 1. Next time the value of your I is 2. So the previous value of your total is 1. So 1 plus 2, 1. Then 1 plus 2 is 3. Then again 3 plus 1, 3 plus 4 you will be getting. Next one will be again your 5 value will be added to the sum. In that way, what is the result you will be getting is 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on up to 9. That is what your result of this is. Your total will be total value. So 0 plus 0 initially will be 0, then 1 is added, then to that result your 2 is added, then to that result your 3 is added, then to that 4 till your 9 is added, right? So this is one normal value, calculating your total value. This is what the actual functionality of your run method here. Now in the main method, I am creating an object of your thread B12 class. Now what is the obvious thing what I'll be doing? I'll be starting the thread. So when I start the thread, your run method will be executing. So how many threads are there now in this program? One is your main method, that is main thread, and the next one will be your thread B12 thread. So the controls keeps switching between your thread B12 thread as well as your main thread. So now when I have started b.start, what will happen usually? Your run method is invoked. But before it goes into your run method and executes this, your control can come back to your main thread also and it can execute. So what will happen in that case? What will be your b.total? What will be your b.total? Right, I'm talking about a case like your main is the execution of the program, the starting of the execution of the program. Now your instance creation is done for your thread B12 class. Now I'm calling b.start. So when I call b.start, what will happen? Your run method is invoked. But before that, before it goes and it is executing these statements itself, there is a chance like your control can again jump back to your main method also. So in that case, when this statement is executed, what will happen? It will print your b.total value. What will be your total value? Actually, what did I mean in calculating your total? I want some calculation of this value like 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 and so on up to your 9. I want that result. But because there is uh, the that is concurrent execution of the programs, you are having main thread and your thread B12 thread. So thread B12 before executing completely only, your control can switch on to your main thread also and it can print your b.total. So what will be the output now? You can see the output. Right, total is 0. This is the output. This is the output, total is 0. So what is happening here? The Actually you have started your b.start. The run method is encountered. The run method is encountered, invoked, but before this could actually execute, your main method is executed and it is printing your b.total, which is value is 0. But is this what you require? No, I want some calculation of your total value and that should be printed. So now again, this requires your synchronization again, right? This whole thing should be executed and then that value should be what I want in the main function is I want this. I can either print here also, but I want a proper synchronization between these two and my main method should print this total value which is calculated. But because of your concurrent programming here, your main method is executing without the actual calculation of your total and it is printing the b.total value as 0, right? Now we will see how does your synchronization block solve this one. So before that, what is your synchronization block? What was you have already known about your synchronization method also. Now your synchronized block is also the same thing. So synchronized block is used to lock an object for any shared resource. For any shared resource, you can actually use your synchronization block to lock an object for any shared resource. So what synchronization block can be used to perform synchronization on any specific resource. Similar to your synchronization method, it can also use to perform synchronization on any specific resource. Suppose consider that you are having 50 lines of code in your method, but you want to synchronize only 5 lines of the code. Then what you can do? You can use your synchronized block. If you want all the 50 lines of the code to be in synchronous, you will be making it as a method. That's it. There is no much difference. The synchronized keyword is same. Now we will see the usage of your synchronized keyword now. Right. So now see here, this program is changed now. Thread B extends thread. There is one instance variable called total again, and run method. Now I am using my synchronized statement. See, this was the logic exactly which we have written in the B loop. Instead of 10, we have taken here 5. You can give even 10 also, not a problem. Right. So total plus is equal to I. Now what is in your main thread? I am creating an instance of your thread B, which is B, and I am calling b.start. What does your b.start do? It will call the run method. It will invoke the run method. Now what was happening earlier? Meanwhile, these two statements are executed. Before that only your main method was given the control and your b.total was printed to 0. So now you want to exactly solve that particular problem. So now what we will do is we will place the synchronized blocks. So synchronized block on this. This is your object. So you can use either your object or this. This represents the current object which is being called. So now we are writing synchronized of B, that is on the object called as B. Now try. This try is for your wait statement, wait method. The wait method usually requires it to be surrounded by your try and catch block. Otherwise, you will be getting the error like unhandled. If you can remove your try and your catch, you can see that you will be getting one syntax error saying that it is unhandled exception. So what you will be doing here, I am printing waiting for B to complete, and you will be calling a b.wait method on this. Now this is usually handled, or this will be usually raising you the interrupted exception. So you are just catching hold of your interrupted exception here, and later you will be printing b.total value. Now we will see the flow. How many threads are there now? 2 threads, main thread as well as your thread B. So in case b.start is executed, your control goes to the run method here, right? Before this is properly executed, again your control can come back and it can execute your main method. This is what was exactly happening in the last one. So now what you are writing the statement as, you are opening the synchronized block and it is telling you clearly that you are waiting on your B. So it goes here inside and it is printing waiting for B to complete and b.wait. So what is your wait statement doing? It will send this particular calling thread to your blocked state until the other thread is issuing you a notify symbol. That is notify function, right? We have seen in your producer and consumer method also the same thing. So one thread is going to the wait state in the sense it is a blocked state. So when does it call it? It comes back to the runnable state when the other thread will notify that this particular thread can now take over. Then only your blocked thread will come into your runnable state now. So now what we are writing synchronization on what you are allowing on your B object. On your B object, you are creating a synchronized block now. Now what are you writing? Try system.out.println waiting for B to complete. Now B.wait. What does your wait tell? Wait tells the calling thread to give up the monitor, that is your log, and go to sleep until some other thread enters the same monitor and calls the notify. So this one will go to your waiting state until the other thread will be, when it is going to the waiting state, what will happen? Obviously this thread will execute. This is what you want. You want your main thread to go to the waiting state and your this thread should take over now. That is the reason you are writing b.wait. Now wait cannot be just like that written. It should be embedded in enclosed in your try and catch blocks. Now so because you issued a wait statement, now it goes here and this is synchronization of this. Again, this is a block. So it will execute everything. And once it is executing, it will give a notify symbol. Now, when you give the notify symbol, what will happen? Main thread was actually blocked state. It was in blocked state. Now that will come and it will execute the rest part of the code. I'm repeating. Earlier, it was a case like there was no synchronization between your main method as well as your another thread. So what is happening? Before the thread could give its complete value of your total, your main has printed the value also. So that is the reason now you need to impose properly your synchronized blocks. So now what we are doing is we are writing your synchronized on which object are you waiting for? On B object. So now b.start will invoke your run method. But before that, my control can again come back to your main function. then you are explicitly stating b dot wait, means wait on b, wait for this particular b object to be completed. So your calling thread, so obviously this main thread will go to your waiting state, that is the blocked state. And when it will come back from the blocked state, it will come back from the blocked state when another thread is notifying you. That is what exactly. Now this will go to the wait state and your total value is completely executed. And this thread is telling to notify. Notify in the sense what will happen? The thread which is in the blocking state will now take over and it will go to the runnable state, and further your scheduler will make sure that that particular thing goes to your running state and it will execute. Now coming back, you are printing your b dot total value here. Now wait should be embedded in your try and catch, and usually wait throws an interrupted exception. So that is the reason you can, instead of writing system.out.println e, you can even write e.print stack trace also. So we will see the output now. Right, you can see now waiting for b to complete, so it will wait and total value is completely executed and you will be getting the output as your 45. You can see in the earlier program that you got the output value as some 0 because this statement was already printed. Now you are explicitly stating that your this whole thread should be executed and then only it will notify and your main thread will come and it will execute its part. Right, you can see this is how a synchronized block will be working. Earlier what you were doing, you are writing it as like some void method and you will be associating the synchronized keyword for your void method over there. Right, next one we will see the join operation on your threads. Right, so you are having one more operation called as join operation in the threads, which will allow one thread to wait until another thread completes the execution. Now this is another form of controlling the behavior of your threads. This is another form of controlling the behavior of your threads.